She said, I plan on asking you to be a bridesmaid in my wedding, but you can't have purple hair.
Why are you worried about her upstaging you? You're the bride. I can see some judgmental looks through the screen. I feel it.
And my friend told me he was interested and he wanted your number.
Okay, this is great.
Have you ever played matchmaker for a friend?
I have. It did not go over very well. Why wait a week? Why do people wait? Just message him.
Okay. All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, welcome to Honey Hearts. I'm Sandra,
Envy?
and today we have a few stories related to what you would do in a relationship and how committed you are.
Ooh.
So let's get started. So our first story is from subreddit Am I the A-ho? Am I the a-hole for telling my sister I won't change my hair color for her wedding?
I was like, oh.
My younger sister, 28 female, is getting married. We just went out of town to watch her wedding dress shop. She did find the dress and say yes. We went out for drinks after to celebrate, and the conversation of my 33 female, light lilac purple hair came up. That's my hair.
That's pretty. I like that color though.
I get a lot of compliments when I'm out, and I think she was already a little irritated that every wedding place loved my hair. Anyways, she said, I plan on asking you to be a bridesmaid in my wedding, but you can't have purple hair. You'll need to dye it brown. My response was, I worked really hard to achieve this color as it's been my dream hair color for a very long time, and that I'm not dyeing it for one day. And it won't hurt my feelings to not stand up there with her and her million friends, especially considering I'm making her wedding cake and was already planning on finishing the decorations the day of her wedding. I told her I'd have to scramble to finish her cake and get it in for hair and makeup, and that I'm happy just sitting it out and making sure her cake is perfect. She snapped back with, You're my sister and I want you up there. It won't hurt you to dye it brown for a day. I love your hair, but it's my day and I want all the attention on me, not your hair. I simply responded back with, I still stand by my decision to sit out on this one. And she just said, Well, we have a year to discuss it. There is absolutely nothing to discuss. I'm not dyeing my hair brown for a wedding, therefore, I simply won't be in my sister's wedding. Am I the a-hole for not letting everyone's opinion and guilt make me change my hair for her big day?
Mm. I- I'm not gonna lie, when you first wrote the story, I looked down at my own hair because I dye my hair a lot, guys, as you probably noticed on the podcast. And so
Well,
I'm like, oh,
so we have a personal experience with this.
yeah.
Do you want to share?
Yeah, I'll share. So I think was it a few months before Sandra's wedding,
Hmm.
I had asked Sandra, "Oh, what color hair would you like me to have on your wedding day?"
And I was so confused, like, what do you mean? And whatever hair color you have on.
Because I don't know, I personally I wouldn't have minded dyeing my hair whatever color because
Hmm.
I know weddings brides invest a lot of money, resources
Yeah.
into photography, like having a whole aesthetic and color scheme. So I made the personal choice of asking Sandra because I don't mind. Now, I noticed that I know at the time when I asked, you seemed confused by it though, because I don't
Yeah.
think you even expected me to ask.
Well, I didn't even
Did you?
think it was a question.
Mm,
And, at the time I'm planning the wedding,
yeah.
so there's so many other things to think about. Your hair color was just I didn't even
Mhm.
think, "Oh, maybe what if you had, I don't know, rainbow colored hair or
Well,
green hair?" I don't.
I had like reddish hair
Mhm.
on your wedding. Would you have cared more, or do you think you would have cared if, say, I had something a little bit more outrageous, like neon yellow? Would you have felt some sort of way differently about it?
I don't know. Like, if you purposely chose an outrageous color, maybe?
But what if I already had it?
But if you already had it, well, I don't think I would have asked you to be a bridesmaid if I didn't
Mm.
already accept whatever hair
You
you
accept
had
what hair
on.
I have.
Yeah, I just kind of accepted, like, people will show up
Mhm.
however they want to show up. Mm, I will say neon green, like, if it
Ew.
was a green, I probably wouldn't like it as much because the bridesmaid dresses were purple, so he
I would
would
have
look
looked like
like
the
Barney
Joker.
or
Oh,
Joker. Okay.
neither are things I wanna look at your wedding.
Yeah,
Ah,
I think that would have been the worst color. Other than that, I don't think I care too much.
okay, I think that's fair.
Yeah,
I know some brides are very picky. Like
that's true. But
yeah,
I think for me, if you don't like the color of your bridesmaid hair, maybe don't ask them to be a bridesmaid in the first place.
yeah.
Then you kind of avoid all of that.
I think it's a choice on both sides. You can
Yeah.
choose who you ask, but at the same time, you shouldn't be mad if they say no. Although it becomes a very personal thing really fast.
Yeah. Well, I mean, OP's hair color is lilac purple, and not to be biased, but
Flashing your lilac purple hair at the end there. I
yeah.
love it. I really do love your hair.
Mhm. Uh, like, not to be biased, but I think it's not the most out there color, and they're getting compliments. It doesn't look bad.
Well, I think the bride here doesn't isn't saying no because it looks bad. If anything, I think it's the opposite. She thinks it looks too good
Like,
and she feels upstaged.
do you think OP is upstaging her?
See,
But you're gonna be in the white dress. Like, come on.
but some people want to be 150% center of attention. Now, I think that honestly, I think bride should get over it because she is your
Yeah.
sister. Are you really going to cut her out of the bridal party because of her hair color? It's not even the most outrageous color. Now, if it was the neon fluorescent colors,
Yeah.
my gosh, they will look horrible in wedding photos. So
Well,
don't recommend,
it's
but
like when you asked her to be your bridesmaid, you already knew she had lilac purple hair. If you were going to ask in the first place, you should have done the, oh, well, maybe,
provide that condition maybe or
yeah,
say it upfront.
yeah. She does have some more details. So OP says, edit to add, during our conversation, I did make a joke about wearing a wig, and she didn't find that funny, nor seem keen on my solution. I also mentioned slicking my hair back into a low, pretty bun, so facing frontwards, you wouldn't really see much of my hair. That also wasn't a good solution. I did also tell her I would consider lightening my hair to silver platinum and that I could easily have it changed back to my lilac. I know it's an issue because my mom was defending her, stating it's just hair and I can change it back from brown. Not the case, obviously. I'm dreading this conversation coming up again. I am a baker, side gig, and I happily offered to make their cake. It's something I enjoy doing. It's always been something we talked about was me making her cake. However, it's a very extravagant four-tier cake that is going to be very flowered up in my mind. I assumed I wouldn't be asked to be part of her wedding party since I told her the morning of her wedding I'll stack the tiers and get the flowers placed how she wants. And I'd just be in my own little world getting that perfectly together. Never in a million years did I think there'd be an issue with my hair being in the wedding and getting the cake together all at once. So OP is baking their wedding cake.
And it sounds like she's not being paid. Like it's an offer. It's a nice gift.
Yeah. So it sounds like she doesn't even want to be a bridesmaid because she just wants to focus on the wedding cake, which I think is a fair request.
I think it's fair of her to make that condition that, hey, how about I just do this? You can take me out of the party.
Yeah.
Everyone's happy, win win. I think it's a good compromise.
Yeah. I think they should have been just over it with that then. If OP doesn't want to be a bridesmaid, then that's fine because she still plays a role in the wedding as the baker of their wedding cake.
Yeah, I think one thing I will say though is the comment from it seems like mom and bride is that,
Hmm.
oh, you can just dye it for one day. As someone who dyes their hair, I will tell you to go from a darker hair to lighter, it takes time, especially if your hair is very naturally dark brown.
Yeah.
It takes weeks if you're dyeing it by yourself.
So to get to a lilac purple, you first need to go very platinum.
Yes, the blondest of blondes.
Yeah, because otherwise it won't show up as lilac. Like to get
Mhm.
the dusty kind of pastel colors, you need to go very, very light first. If you're going to dye it brown, so you're taking it dark, you're going to have to remove the brown before you bleach it again and then get it purple again.
Yeah,
I think,
it's a lot of work
yeah.
and it's a lot of money if you're doing it professionally. If you're doing it at home, it's still money
Hmm.
and it's a lot of time and your hair will likely be fried. after from all the
I think
dyeing.
the wig idea was not bad. I wonder why they're so unhappy about it.
Maybe there's a misconception here that the wig will look cheap. I've seen some people
No,
wigs, they look
there's
amazing.
expensive wigs out
Mhm.
there.
And
Yeah.
they look you can't even tell.
I think the low bun idea is fine too. Like she puts her hair back so
Mhm.
it's not as noticeable. Cause I think if she ties it back, it will just look kind of brunette.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, OP says, here's a picture of me and my hair. So she provides a
Oh, yay! She
picture.
flashes it. That is so
That is
pretty.
nice. So it's a little more
It's more
bright.
purple.
Yeah, it's
It's more
more
bright
purple than
purple.
my hair because my hair is grown out,
Mhm.
and faded. But I think that's
So
a very
pretty.
nice color. I'm just admiring
I
it.
think it's pretty. We're out
Oh,
here admiring
I
her
like her
hair.
haircut too.
I love it.
Okay, so comment replies to that. Ugh, it's gorgeous. Yeah, whatever you do, do not dye it brown. As a colorist, you would have to wait for the brown to grow out completely to get
Yeah.
back to your lavender. You can only get a clean enough lift for pastels from your natural hair, aka virgin hair.
Yep.
You would not get a clean enough lift and maintain your length and the health of your hair from color treated hair. Hard no. Don't do it. Stand your ground. And a purple heart.
As someone who has gone from dark hair to light hair to dark, and then am switching back now. I don't know if you guys notice, I swear my hair gets lighter every episode we do this,
What color
but
are
I've been
you
lighting
going
up.
for now?
I wanted to go pink, but I'm kind of settling with the blonde for a little bit more as my
Mhm.
hair grows out more, so I can achieve the pink shade I want.
See, it takes time. It takes a lot of
It's too
time and
much
patience
time.
to achieve your ideal color. For me, I'm not as talented as you, so I don't know how to do my own hair. I went to a salon, but it took 7
Oh
hours.
my gosh.
I think I stayed till after closing, and my neck was sore because they put all this foil on your
And you
head.
didn't even do the whole head, right?
Yeah.
Oh
So they
gosh.
put all this foil on your head, and when you're leaning back, like your neck cramps up. So this is pain and effort and money and time to achieve the ideal hair color. And now they're just asking OP like she could dye it brown for a day.
I mean, I'm wondering, the only solution I see to this is I know there are products now that you can spray on.
Hmm.
A very temporary washes out after one wash, but I worry that because she has such light hair, I don't think they'll
I
work.
think the
They'll
darkness of the brown, even if
Yeah,
you
they'll
go
stain
light
it. They
brown,
might
yeah, it's
stain it.
going to stain the hair. So she'll have to lift it somehow. So it's not gonna be the same. And that was a very nice shade of purple.
Yeah, that's a vibrant purple. That's hard to maintain too.
Yeah, it is hard.
I I would say Bride is in the wrong, not
Mhm.
for making her request, but turning it into a demand, first of all. And then also the reason for her to make that demand. Look, your bride, she's your sister. If you really love her and you want her to stand by you on your special day, why are you worried about her upstaging you? You're the bride. You're going to look beautiful. You're going to be glowing. No
Mhm.
one's going to be able to upstage you.
Yeah. Honestly, on the day of your wedding, you're not even going to think about it.
No. No
Yeah.
one is going to be thinking, oh my God, look at the bride. Oh, wait, no. Look at the bridesmaid in purple hair.
Yeah. Another comment says, Photoshop exists. Sister can pay out more to a photographer with editing skills. She's taking advantage of you to make herself feel better than everyone. I write up how much you'd charge people for the cake as well as the decorations, present it to her, and make the point that she's costing you that much money, then expects you to pay out even more for your hair.
Yeah.
Not the a-ho.
I don't know if I would go straight to writing up a bill for the cake just because I think it does escalate things.
Yeah.
Like it would become a full blown, oh, okay. So now you're saying no
Playing
to
that
bridesmaid and you're
game.
playing that game. It's
It's
stressful.
petty. It's a
Yeah.
little petty. Yeah.
I don't know if I would go that far just because it seems like they generally have a good relationship, minus this
Yeah.
whole spat
Just
situation.
say no.
Yeah.
Like point blank. Just say
I
no,
would
I'm
say
not
no to
dyeing
being a
my
bridesmaid.
hair.
Yeah. I would say
Yeah.
no to dyeing hair. And then if sister's still like, well, if you're going to be my bridesmaid, I'm like, okay, guess I can't. Guess I
Yeah.
can't.
Just say you're too busy.
Yeah.
Like OP wrote, I'm too busy. I can't be your bridesmaid. And just
Yeah.
move on with that. Um it's kind of funny because OP's family is saying, well, we have a year to talk about it. as if that's going to change OP's mind.
I don't like that. She already said no. Take it
Yeah.
for what it is,
So, what do you think Redditors' vote on this is?
not the a-hole.
Yeah. I don't see how OP can be the a-hole. It's your hair color. So if anyone is asking you to change your hair for their own selfish reason, I don't think you can be the a-hole and saying no.
I think at this point, you can't fault them for making their choices. OP's made her choice. Bride needs to know that, hey, you can feel the way that you feel. You put it out there. She shot it down. Get over it and focus on your wedding day.
Honestly, you won't you won't really be thinking about it. You're not going to notice anyone's hair color. I'm pretty sure OP's not the only one that's going to have colored hair at the wedding. She's not going to upstage you if that's the concern.
I mean, one thing is bride could dye her hair if she doesn't want anyone else to stand out because everyone presumably has brown hair. She could dye her hair a different color if she wants.
Yeah. I just don't think it's that big of a deal.
No.
Hey guys, just jumping in. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button below and help us get to 5K. Well, let's move on to our next story about relationships and commitment.
Ooh.
So this is also from subreddit r/ am I the a-hole? Am I the a-hole for going on vacation without my girlfriend if she can't pay her way?
Ah, oh boy,
um,
we're in for a ride, aren't we?
Hi y'all, I 39 male am dating someone 33 female and have been for the last 3 months. Things are going well until the topic of my 40th birthday came up. Next year, I turned 40, and I've never taken an actual vacation. I've extended work trips to do something fun where I am. I've traveled to visit friends or family, always just for a long weekend, never more than 3 days total. I want to take a week and travel purely for recreational purposes. My criteria is that the trip needs to be at least a week and be international. I've always worked hard to get my finances in shape since my 20s, and now I have a decent business and some money set aside, and I feel like I'm ready for a trip, and next year would be a great opportunity as it is a milestone birthday. My girlfriend is great. She works hard and supports herself, but she doesn't make as much money and, most importantly, is currently saddled with around 20K in credit card debt arising from a period of unexpected unemployment she had in the past that forced her to burn through savings and live on credit cards. When the topic of this trip came up, she first asked if she could go. I said sure. She then asked if we could go to Vegas. I told her about my desire for this to be an international trip. Then she expressed concern over if she could afford it while in debt. I told her I'd be willing to cover our lodging and, depending on where we go, help her pay for airfare. Because we haven't been dating long, I don't feel comfortable paying her whole way and feel she should contribute financially to come along. She then told me she didn't feel she could afford to cover meals plus half airfare, even if I went somewhere relatively cheap. I was thinking possibly Caribbean, where trip flights are running typically under $500. So I said that I understood, but I also have been wanting to do this milestone birthday thing for a while now, and I still intend to go even if just by myself and would only be gone a week. She became upset that I would travel without her, and it caused a bit of a fight. My friends and family are split. On one hand, some point out how many things I wanted to do but didn't get to do because my ex refused to let me, and so I should go forth with or without her. On the other, some are saying it is cruel of me to be planning a vacation in front of a person who is trying to pay off large amounts of debt anyway. I can see both sides and just want to know, am I the a hole? I think this is a true Am I the A-hole story. I think other stories we have, they're more black and white, but I
Uh-huh.
think this is a gray area. Would you go ahead with your international vacation?
If I was an OP situation, I would. The reason though being, I can see some judgmental looks through the screen. I feel it. The
You're
re-
abandoning them.
Yeah, but you would go on vacation without your partner? Here's the thing. In context of this story alone, I would.
Mhm.
Because s- clearly it's on his list. He's been wanting to do it for a really long time. He's planned it for a while.
Yeah.
They've only been dating for what? Was it 3 months?
I think it was 3 months.
Okay, so they're newly dating, I
3
want to
months.
say. Newly dating. And I mean, point blank, it's his life dream, it seems like one of his life goals. I would say go for it. And I think the way he went about it wasn't a-hole ish at all
Right.
because he allowed her to go. He's even offering to pay for what? The lodging, half the airfare. I think it's really unfair for his girlfriend to say, no, you can't go, or even, actually, I can't pay anything. So can you pay for it? Because it doesn't seem like she's done the research either before saying these things. In a lot of locations internationally, surprisingly, expenses are actually cheaper than local destinations in the States in terms of food and lodging.
For me, I don't even think that's the point. She's
Mhm.
20K deep in credit card
Oh,
debt.
yeah.
I think it's irresponsible for her to
Go at all.
want to go on a
Yeah.
trip right now instead of focusing on clearing up those debts.
Do you think Opie has a responsibility to kind of, I don't want to say suffer with her, but not go on a trip and hold back to be with his partner while she tries to tackle
No.
this?
I think so. This is why I mentioned this.
Yeah.
This is a test of commitment to relationships. I think it is okay for him to say that he is going alone, and that's
Mhm.
that. I don't think he should have to worry about someone else on his birthday trip, even if it's his girlfriend. I feel like it's too new.
Yeah.
And he can say we can go on a trip another time, but I don't think he needs to scale back his trip for her. Is that mean? Well, what would you guys do? Would you guys scale back the trip for your partner of 3 months? Or would you guys go ahead with, your international plans? It's only 1 week. I feel like
Yeah.
she should get over it.
I I think it would have been nice if he wanted to scale down, but clearly that's not his intention, his goal. I think he should go through with it. And if anything, she shouldn't go at all.
I don't think she should go.
No,
It's
you're in debt.
irresponsible.
You're in debt.
Mhm.
And I think if he did pay for any more than what he already offered, it would be enabling that behavior.
Right.
Because you're in 20K debt, realistically, girl, you're trying to take a week off of work and go on vacation, that will probably set you back even further.
You really can't afford it. You're in the negatives. Comment There's a comment that Opie replies to. So
Oh,
comment says, 3 months and she expects you to either pay for her to go on an international week-long vacation or change your long-term bucket list plans to suit her. Not the a-hole. You've got too much on your own life to let yourself be held back by someone you're barely invested in. She can either get over her FOMO or you can find a new partner who is supportive. And Opie says, I will admit I was a bit surprised at how the conversation went. She knew about my bucket list trip because we talked travel on our first date, but when I mentioned I need to really start formalizing plans, it was wild. It went from 1, can I go with you? Yes. 2, I don't think I can afford a trip to X or Y. Can we go to Vegas instead? I see a
no.
lot of cheap travel packages for that place. No, international is the plan. 3, can we push our trip a few years until I can get my debt under control? No, defeats the purpose of a 40th birthday celebration. She's been great and we've had a lot of fun, but I suppose the honeymoon had to end eventually. And now this is one of those things we either need to navigate or, as you said, I need to recognize she's just not a great fit as I thought she was and move on. Not doing the unhappy marriage thing again. Oh,
Interesting detail.
was OP divorced?
I guess he was.
Okay. So he's seeing someone after divorce. Well, I
Could have been.
guess since he has experience with an unhappy marriage, it seems like he has more insight on whether or not someone might not be a good fit.
And maybe where to compromise and where not to.
Yeah. Ugh, I don't want to jump to the D word, but or well, not the D word, the B word, the breakup,
The B word, yes.
right?
Breakup, not the other word.
Yeah, I don't want to jump to breakups, but I think it's very entitled of her after 3 months of dating to ask you to change your whole birthday plans.
It sounds very irresponsible though. Because why would you ask to go on a trip before knowing the expenses of the trip?
Yeah. Reading the story, I thought the ages were going to be something like
Younger?
21,
Yeah, it
22,
feels
like
younger.
where you're new, like newly to travel, new to relationship,
Mhm.
but they are more mature, and you would think that she would have a better response or a more understanding response,
Yeah.
because I just think when you enter a new relationship, you try to put your best foot forward. And it seems like she's not. She's just starting to ask for things very early on.
I don't even like the way she approached it though, because she's asking without asking.
She's demanding.
Yeah, she didn't say, "Could you pay for me?" But she basically said, "Can I come?" "Oh, but I can't afford this."
Yeah.
Hint, hint. That's what it feels like.
But I'm glad OP's putting
Oh,
his foot down on no, this has to be international. This is for my 40th birthday.
yeah. I'm surprised that she isn't even looking into research. It doesn't seem like she did any sort of looking up, Googling, or anything, because she's immediately shooting down all international destinations. A lot of international destinations, the cost, like the biggest cost is the lodging and
Airfare.
transit, airfare.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if most of those are covered for her, and if she knows how to budget and
hmm
wasn't drowning in debt, she could probably afford it.
If you're 20K in debt, it's better to stay home.
Yeah, stay home.
Stay home. And second comment, this is purely an opinion, but I think it's 10 times more understandable for things you had planned before you began dating and are still in your first year. I feel like that first year, if she wants to join you for a pre planned trip, it should be 100% her responsibility to cover half. You are already being pretty generous. As said above, it's also not like you planned while she was in your life, so it's not that you plan to not include her, not the a hole. OP replies, yes, those saying I am an a-hole here are saying that even though it was my stated intention, it doesn't really count as before her because I had not formally scheduled or planned anything. So I think what they're getting at is the comment is saying you planned this and you had this bucket list item
Mhm.
in your life before you even met her.
Yeah,
So
it's fair. It's
yeah,
fair
so
game
it's
to
fair
continue with
game.
it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, if they I think the context would change. Well, the story would change if the context changes. Say they were
Yeah.
together for 5 years and he decides that this is his new bucket list goal. I think it would be an a-hole move for him to go without his partner and helping his partner,
Or
considering his
like to
partner.
figure out a compromise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But 3 months, not to judge their relationship based on time,
It's
but it's
very
still very
new,
new.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I think she's being greedy without realizing she can't afford to be greedy.
Yeah. I think he's not the a-hole, but I think she kind of is
Yeah,
here.
I think she's the a-hole. And comments say, oh, Redditors voted not the a-hole. Um, just like the comment says, it was a bucket list item that he had before, and he shouldn't change it just because of her. And for me, I think financially, it's irresponsible of her to go on a trip when she has 20K of credit card debt because when she's on the trip, who's paying for the meals? It's going on her credit card then. She's just going to rack up more debt.
What's funny to me is she complained about the cost of an international trip with half the expenses paid for, basically.
Yeah.
But then she wants to go to Vegas. Vegas is so expensive.
And like in
Uh,
Vegas, what do you do? It's mostly known for gambling.
yeah. Or you, even if you hang out, I guess go to the expensive
Shows,
hotels or shows, they all cost an
they're
arm and a leg. They're pretty
expensive.
expensive.
Mhm.
She's sipping Delulu juice. She wants to go on a vacation. She wants to go on a vacation she can't even afford.
She really can't afford it. I think some people can't they don't realize when they can't afford something.
It's so bad though because it's such a prevalent idea. Oh, I'll just put in the card and pay later. With what money? You can't pay it now, so you likely cannot pay
Yeah.
it in a week from now or a month from now.
I think the concept of credit card debt is I don't think we're educated enough on it. Or well, I
No, we
mean
are
like
not.
our society.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that was where I was debating on does it just show that OP is not committed to the relationship then?
I don't think so. In this context, I don't think that Well, it's hard to say because on one hand, I don't think he's that committed to her. They've only been together for 3 months, and her opinion doesn't really matter. It shows even in the way he's speaking about it, the trip. He's like, "Well, I was gonna go without you, but because you asked, I'm okay with you going." But
Yeah.
it's not like he cares that much either
He's
way.
fine with or without her.
Yeah, so I would say it's true, he's not that invested in a relationship,
Yet.
but it's kind of justified for the context.
Yeah, I agree with
Yeah,
that. So my verdict is not the a-hole.
agreed. Stamping it in.
Not
Not
the
the
a-hole.
a-hole.
Woo. All right. So we have one last story, and this is from r/true off my chest.
Oh, these are always so I feel like these are so unpredictable
They are.
usually.
Do you have any predictions for what this is?
Hmm, will this story be I wanna throw one idea out. Married couple with commitment issues?
No.
No?
Although that's a very good guess. That's a pretty common theme here.
I was close. No, I'm not. I'm probably so
I'm
off.
so excited for this one. Okay. And you'll see why. Ready?
Mhm.
So the title is I Don't Have Anyone to Tell This Story to.
Oh, we're topping off the deep end. Alright.
I made a friend named Judy at a writing group. She is 95. I am 62. I visited her at her apartment a few times and helped her with her computer, and we really hit it off. She told me that some medication she was taking was making her feel sick. I asked her what it was for. She said she is just riddled with bone cancer. She published a book of poetry. I went to her book launch party at the beginning of May. She had a friend there named Mike, who is about my age. I thought he was a very, very attractive man and intelligent. I went up to Judy and asked her if he was single, and she said he was. Judy had told me about Mike quite a few times and what a wonderful person he was and what a great friend to her. He is also a writer. I tried to flirt with him and ask him out, but he was chatting with some other woman about publishing. I felt embarrassed, so I left. I received an email yesterday from someone in the writing group that we were both in that Judy had made the decision to end her life as she had a stroke about 2 weeks ago and has not been well at all in the last month. Medical assistance is dying completely legal in Canada. I was shocked to hear this as she was seemingly so well and in great spirits the last time I saw her. I decided to call her to say goodbye. I phoned her yesterday and we had a lovely chat, and she told me she was very happy with her decision to end her life this Saturday afternoon and that she had family coming to be with her. We had a good conversation, and I told her how much I appreciate her friendship. And I told her I thought that her husband, who already passed away, would be there to welcome her on the other side. I was sad to think that I will never see my friend Judy again. I thought that
Oh.
chapter with me and Judy was now closed. My feels are ready.
Although I'm surprised by the language. I've never heard of anyone I guess call it entering life?
We're ending their life.
Ending life? Oh, I
Ending
heard it
their.
as entering life. Mhm.
Yeah. Just about 5 minutes ago, I received a phone call from Judy. She wanted to give me Mike's phone number and asked me to call him. Apparently, he thought I was also a very nice person and wanted to know more about me. I explained that I had liked him very much. I thought he was very attractive and that I had embarrassed myself, so I left. Judy thought this was really funny and cute. Apparently, I made some kind of impression on him because he mentioned me to Judy several times. She gave me his phone number and asked me to call him and thought that we would be very good for each other. I said I would call him in a week or so. What a lovely gesture playing matchmaker for two of her friends before she leaves this world. I have been very lonely lately and really wanting to have a partner in my life. That's the story.
Oh. Not me literally tensing up, trying to figure out what's gonna happen. Okay, this is great.
This is Judy played matchmaker for
That's so
OP.
cute.
Yeah, I thought it was such a nice, heartwarming ending.
Aw.
I it just seemed like with everything going on. So,
Mhm.
the previous story we had OP's girlfriend who's upset about going on a trip and all these things happening. It's just nice to see that While Judy was near the end of her life, she just
Aw.
seems so chill.
And she decided to play matchmaker. That's cute.
And she's surrounded by her family, and she had her book club or her writing group. It kind of put in perspective for me how throughout life you kind of encounter all these weird relationships that test your commitment, that test,
Yeah.
oh, do you care about me? Do you not? All
Mhm.
these things. But at the end of the day, I think it's just better to live life positively, to
Yeah.
find relationships that make you happy, like friendships or even new love at 62.
I think that's kind of cute that she thought he was cute. She walked up to him and tried to flirt.
Mhm.
It's very I think surprisingly even at their age, I think people are generally, all the same at different stages of life.
OP
Eventually go
still
back
got
into
game.
she still got game. She got the man.
So comment says, OMG, call him. So you can give her a final update before passing. What a sweet story. OP says, I said I would wait to call him, and she agreed that it would be best to wait about a week. But what if I did call him and things didn't go well? And then I would have to tell her that before she passed.
I mean, you can just not tell her. You could always just hit him up, and if it doesn't go well, you don't have to tell her that specifically.
One final love story. I love this OP because OP replies a lot.
Mhm.
So comment says, Girl, he asked about you. If things don't go well for some reason, I can't think of any, you can at least tell your friend you've been in contact. I'm sorry for your coming
Yeah.
loss. Your friend will no doubt be watching over you. Whatever happens, good luck. OP says, Thank you.
Oh, OP sounds really sweet, and Judy sounds really sweet too.
And continuing with the comments because it's so cute how OP replies to them. Comment says, Thanks for posting, OP, and just remember our thoughts are our life. It's our reality. Don't think negatively about meeting him. Think positively, and things will go better than you ever expected. Our thoughts are our reality. Cheers, you got this. I'm sorry to hear about your friend too. Good luck. And OP says, I have lived by positive thinking for 62 years.
I like that. I would agree.
So I have two more comments.
Oh, okay.
So comment says, Cool, cool. Wasn't trying to step on your toes, just some encouragement for your meeting with future husband. OP says, Future husband, I like the sound of that. I won't tell him today.
Aw.
And then one comment says, As a guy, how the hell does it make sense in two people's minds to wait a full week when you both just expressed interest?
See, not a guy, but I agree. I was gonna say, why wait a week? Why do people wait? Just message him.
Just go for it.
Just go for it.
And OP says, Update. She called me again this morning and asked me to come to her apartment to pick up an envelope to bring to him and ask him out for lunch and to call him later today. She says she wants to know what happens.
Judy is the ultimate wing woman, providing opportunities for them to meet.
I love
Okay,
it. One
Judy.
last love story in her life. Oh, that's so sweet. And one last comment from OP. I'm waiting for him at the coffee shop right now, and I am actually nervous in the last 5 minutes. I've never been nervous about anything probably in many years, but I am about this.
That's so
And that's
exciting.
our last comment from OP.
Oh, I hope things go well.
Ah, it just shows like at 62, you can still pursue a new relationship. So don't settle
You
because
can always find love.
you can find new love. I love that Judy is playing matchmaker
Yeah, aw.
with everything that's going on for her right now.
I like her follow through too. She
Yeah.
created an actual she didn't just hand over the number. She said, "Hey, can you hand him this?"
Well, she basically gave her a date.
Yep. Oh, she did. A
Yeah.
reason to meet, way to contact.
Have you ever played matchmaker for a friend?
I have. I have to say, the one time I did it, it did not go over very well.
It's tough.
It's tough because my approach is this.
Mm.
I will never, I guess, coerce or influence someone to meet someone if they're not ready. But it's more like I want to provide an opportunity. And if these two people who I think are great matches hit it off, cool. If they don't, I'll just stay away. I won't say anything either. Because I want them to still have the organic spark.
Yeah. I think that's what Judy is doing here.
Yeah.
I feel like this is very organic.
It's so cute.
It's so cute because they were writers, they wrote books,
This sounds like a Wattpad story, like, "Oh, I met him, he was a writer. I walked in and he was there talking to his publisher or a
and
publisher."
my friend told me he was interested and he wanted your number. I mean, not exactly like that, but
But basically.
basically. Uh, I think we got to end on a heartwarming story.
Yeah. I wanna say that happens often, but not that often with the story, so I'm
It
glad this one does.
Yeah, it doesn't. I want to hear more stories like these. And if you guys want to hear more stories that are as heartwarming as this one, please let us know in the comments below.
And don't forget to like this video, guys, and hit that subscribe button. Help us get to 5K.
Ooh. And
And on
if
Spotify,
you're listening on Spotify, rate us 5 stars. Talk to you later. Bye.
bye. I totally thought it was gonna be like the most horrendous story because like
Yeah.
drew off my
Because she
chest.
haven't. Oh, it was titled "I Don't Have Anyone to Tell This To," and I was like,
You know what's funny? You read it as oh. When I heard that, I was like, oh God, did you kill someone?